Hello, I'm Chance, and what you're about to watch is a bit of an interesting bit. So, through years and years of gaming, and good friends, and a lot of hobbying, I have accumulated, along with my friends, a large collection of minis, dice, gaming paraphernalia. And in this, we're going to take a quick look at the stuff that I use for D&D when I have the wonderful and honestly privileged opportunity to play in person. This is something I haven't gotten to do in a while. Play in person, that is. We've switched over to playing online almost exclusively, which has sucked. But I think I'll be launching a video to explain a little bit more of that in a bit. So, without further ado, I think it's time to start showing you guys what we have kicking around. This is a mini that I got from / painted for a former friend of mine. She used to be part of the game group long before we ever got the idea to start recording them. And the friendship ended in a bad and messy way. However, for having not painted in a while, I think I did a pretty good job on this one. This also was painted for a former friend. Came in the same set of minis. That's supposed to be a Drow Sorceress. I don't know how well that came out. But, hey, you know what? You do what you can. I like the lighting effect I did on the lightning. This is a Reaper mini I picked up. Pretty cheap. Love it. It is supposed to be a Dark Fairy Queen. Doesn't really come out that way, but hey. It is what it is. This mini was painted by made by my friend Rich, painted by me. He's just a cool knight guy. 3D printed. And despite the visible print lines, I think he came out pretty good. Another 3D printed minifig. Phone wasn't working, sorry guys. Blurry as shit. I'll try to cut that out. This is another 3D printed minifig by my friend Rich. I think it looks great. I mean, there's only so much you can do with PLA. Again, picked up for a former friend. Same said former friend. Elven Cleric. She has a thing for elves. I think that's true of a lot of people. But, I'm not judging. I play elves too, so fuck it. This was painted for the ex-boyfriend of the former friend. He's in prison, and I don't dare say why, because YouTube, Facebook, literally, that should tell you how bad it is. But, mini looks good. I painted it, so, well, I did some of it. Sam painted some of it. It's kind of a joint effort. We didn't really know what to do with this mini, because it had no direction from the former owner. Another mini came from the same set from the former friend. Looks pretty good, though. Not much to say. Again, I had no direction on this one. I just picked up a brush, picked out some paints, and started painting. As I am wont to do. This is the last mini in the collection of what I call the Collection of Shame. This is the main mini that was used by the former friend's ex-boyfriend who is now in prison. He who shall not be named. Because, dear fucking God. This one I have to do justice and take my time with. This is one of tons of minifigs that was painted by Sam. And as you can see, Sam don't mind that. That was that's from rubbing up on a really bad box for a while. They've all been matte sprayed, but wear and tear does happen. But yeah, Sam painted this. You can even note the little filigree down there. This was literally like the third minifig she ever painted. She takes her time, and she does crazy work without ever having done it before. Like, look at this shit. The color gradients and the fucking flame spell. It's ridiculous. This is a Tiefling Monk. It's a Hero Forge. Printed on my friend Liz's resin printer. On an occasion in which it decided to not stop working. And I can't even take credit for the design, I just painted it. This one again needs justice. It is another one of tons of minifigs, a human wizard. Badass looking. Oh yeah, and Sam painted this one. This is literally the fourth model she ever painted. Jesus. And it came out pretty good. I mean, fuck. I've been painting for years, and some of the ones you're going to see in this video just not even as good. The literal first minifig Sam ever painted. Halfling Rogue. And he looks pretty fucking badass. I know we're giving Sam a lot of attention here, but I feel it's not undeserved, so yeah. The second minifig Sam ever painted. Definitely not too shabby. The woman has steady hands. This is a mini that I was given by, I can't fucking remember who. I think I did an okay job on her. I thought she was badass. And my grandmother liked the color lavender. I like the color lavender. So, lavender she was. Also, let's face it, just badass. Another one of tons of minifigs painted by Sam. Just, she does detail like nobody's business. I can actually imagine her, if she ever played 40k, picking up fucking Chaos Space Marines. Fucking brocaded as shit armor would be no problem for her. Though, I've never seen... her assembly line painting is kind of slow, so... And I'm just starting to get her into War Machines. So, I can't drag her into too many plastic crack hobbies at the moment. Magic the Gathering was bad enough. This is the last of Tons' minifigs that he left here in Ohio. And she is gorgeous. Similar color style. Just really well done. Sam is... I try to give her as much credit as possible because these just look fucking great. Another 3D printed minifig. Made for Josh. I painted it up. Did not do the greatest job. However, I had fun, so I don't feel too bad. I must have been really tired when I painted this one up. It just came out looking really splotchy. But, you know what? It's there. It's here. It's all over the place. I hope you like it. This is another 3D resin printed mini. Again, I kind of phoned it in. If you're not feeling a mini, don't paint it. But I did. I let myself get a little carried away, just trying to slay the gray. And it shows. I got 4 colors on him and hit him with a wash to pop out the lines, and it just did not turn out great. Made him look dingy. Not happy with this, but I'll show it anyways. This is another 3D printed minifig. This one was done on the resin printer. It got kind of screwed up, but that's why it was given to me. I actually did not do a good job on this one. I tried, and I got it looking pretty decent, and then I used a homemade wash, and it came out looking trashy, and I guess I could not be fucking bothered to rinse off the wash and do it again. So, again, here's my minifig of shame. Let's hold on it for a second. Just take in how shitty a job I did. The last of the 3D printed minis is this guy. He was made by Rich, I think. Or he could have been Liz. I think he came out looking pretty good. The reason he was given to me was his bow, parts of his bow snapped off. I remember that. I painted the handle metal so that it would kind of look like maybe a collapsing bow. I don't know. This one I did a better job on. The wash wasn't so trashy. I should have made a thinner wash, and I think that's part of why a lot of these didn't come out the way I wanted them to. Another thing I could have done is used real flow medium instead of soap. Look familiar? Well, it should. It's the same copy as the sculpt that I used for the Drow Cleric. This one is supposed to be just an elven sorceress for a friend of mine. It came out a lot better. I think I do a lot better job when the model is challenging. When there's detail for me to really grab onto. Also, I used real wash that I bought at a store, so much better. Okay, so this mini is one I painted for my buddy Chris. And it looks pretty good. I used a lot of copper. Copper, you'll find, is, especially now that I've got a good metallic paint that I love, you're probably going to see a lot of copper on a lot of shit. I love the shade of copper. I love the fucking realistic look it has. Oh my god, I'm in love with copper. I'm a steampunker to the end. This is a dwarf that was painted for Sam and Josh's Uncle Ricky. He just left them with us because he doesn't really game outside of hanging out with all of us. So here they stay. He mostly plays dwarves, so he's got a dwarf female, this one, and then another one you'll see later. I have no idea what order these are going to be in, so I may group them together, so who knows. This is Ricky's other dwarf. Another dwarven female. I thought it was a male. I fucking wasn't paying attention, I guess. Or it's been so long since I've taken out this collection of minis, and so long since Ricky's played with us that I don't have a fucking clue, I guess. But they all look good, and I'm pretty proud of the paint job that was done on them. So, yay. I didn't do too bad a job. This is the first minifig that I picked up after getting here to Ohio. It was the closest thing I could find to a ninja. Elf Assassin from Reaper. Sculpt is pretty good. The paint job is, I'm going to pat myself on the back and call it decent. And this is from a time when I had more colors of wash that didn't suck. This is a human fighter / barbarian. I painted him to look like my adopted brother Dave. We joke that Dave's a barbarian. I could tell some stories, but I'm not sharing those with the internet. Dave, if you see this, and I'm probably going to send you the link, I love you, man. Miss you, bro, and I miss gaming. I hope you get back to it soon. Maybe game online. Alright, if you guys can't tell what I was going for with this guy, then you're fucking blind. This is a human fighter mini that I got, and I painted him as an homage to Geralt. Yeah, I'll say it. The Witcher was better than Game of Thrones. Unpopular opinion, I'd imagine, but there it is. I fucking said it. This is a female barbarian from the Pathfinder collection. I imagined that I gave her a punk hairstyle or punk hair color because that hairstyle just screamed punk rocker chick to me. And well, my ex-wife had pink hair for the longest time, and I'll tell you what, that woman can be savage when she wants. Miss her. It sucks. But here we are, and there's a D&D mini. This is just an alternate pose of the same mini with a different outfit, the same weapon. So I just gave her different colored armor and called it a day. Pretty much painted her the same way otherwise. Same weapons, same face, same hair, same chick. But her with a different set of armor. Another elven cleric. I remember not where I fucking got her, but she came out alright. In my collection, she shall stay. Hell, it could be that Sam bought minis, left them in the pile of unpainted stuff, and forgot all about them, and I just ended up painting them. So, yeah. But hey, that only just occurred to me, like, almost a year after painting it. So, yeah. Too late now, I guess. Got this chick from my friend Jamie for my 35th birthday. Elven Rogue. I play a lot of rogues and a lot of rangers, and I often cross-class them because I like being sneaky in a forest. No hate. This chick, another one from my 35th birthday. Looks good. Looks badass to me. Fucking loving it. You know what? This one came out pretty good too. And, you know, I love painting minis. I'm a D&D player. I'm a miniatures wargamer. I'm an all-around nerd, and I love this. It gives kind of Assassin's Creed vibes, and I'm all about it. It's another rogue. This mini, also got for my 35th birthday. Another rogue, though she looks to be a lefty. I got a lot of female rogue characters. Funny thing, I play men. It's not that I'm against people not playing their gender or whatever, or anything like that. Play what you want. I only know how to relate to life as a guy, and therefore I only play guys. And I guess that's just my thing. Didn't do this one as well. The wash came off pretty thick. I should buy a fresher wash. But by the time it dried, it was too late. I should have sopped up some of that on the face. The rest of the wash came out pretty nice. There's a couple of bald spots where the wash didn't take quite right. But this is trial and error, and if you're not having fun when you're doing your hobby, why the fuck would you do a hobby? Like, it would make no fucking sense. Now the collection brings us to my halfling rogues. They're dudes. And honestly, I've always envisioned the fucking hobbits as being Irish looking. I guess just Samwise Gamgee kind of rubbed off on me, so I'm gonna be honest, pretty much all of my hobbits tend to end up being strawberry blonde or redheaded. I wish I had a turntable. This would be such more epic. But, fuck it. It is what it is. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it regardless. Well, that concludes the fantasy minifigs. Now we move on to the sci-fi minifigs. Let's go. These are my First Order Stormtroopers. They were 3D resin printed. And that's really all I've got for them. They were essentially group enemies for a campaign I was running that was Star Wars. Ironically, they were never used as First Order Stormtroopers, just Stormtroopers. So, yeah. Kind of batch painted them, didn't use the highest quality paints, didn't always take my time. Some of them are deformed from bad printing. I don't think the sculpts were especially good. But, you know, I think I did a pretty good job, all things considered. They've also chipped off a little bit, because, again, I didn't use the highest quality paints, and it really just kind of goes downhill from there. But I think they turned out okay for what they are. These are from Star Wars Legion. They're the legit, actual Stormtrooper sculpts. I do not play Star Wars Legion. These were again picked up expressly as D&D minis. I've thought about picking up more Star Wars Legion minis, and you know, these came out pretty good. The sculpts were good. The paint jobs, I think, are pretty decent. They definitely show a higher quality on the tabletop. God, I wish I had a turntable. But, you know, fucking... I think they came out pretty good for what they are, you know? But you decide. Doom, doom, doom. A resin printed 3D, or a resin 3D printed Ahsoka Tano. I don't think I did a terrible job. I know her lightsabers are supposed to be white. I just didn't really give a shit. I like teal. So her lightsabers are teal for my sculpt. Not really much else to say, to be honest. Just kind of is what it is. But hey, that's life. This, for D&D purposes, well, Star Wars purposes, is a group of Sith acolytes. Look pretty good. Kind of quick and dirty paint jobs. They were 3D resin printed by Liz, and they serve their purpose pretty decently. In fact, the entire time we played that campaign, they went unpainted. So the fact that I've finished their paint job since then is kind of a miracle. But, you know what they say, slay the gray. Okay, this guy I am especially proud of. This was printed for me by Liz. And this is the Sith Acolyte from the Return trailer for KOTOR. Knights of the Old Republic. Well, or the Old Republic, I believe. Yeah, the MMO. But I think I did a pretty good job on him. I like the way he came out. Very happy with this guy. So, hell yeah. We have returned. Sorry. Okay, these are Mandalorians. There's a whole squad of them. They're not showing up very well on my camera. This thing doesn't want to fucking focus on shit. There we are. Okay, so these are Mandalorians. Pretty well painted. And I am totally happy with the way they came out. Cannot complain. Are they all silver? Yes. I wanted them to be generic as possible, which can tell you pretty much all you need to know of my opinion of the Mandalorian. He's got no real pizzazz. Sorry, it's a hot take. I know. Lots of people like the Disney stuff. I'm not one of them. This is another Stormtrooper. It was the best of the First Order Stormtroopers and was used for Josh's cohort character during the campaign. That character being a former Stormtrooper who defected to the New Republic after being saved from a zombie outbreak by a group of Jedi. So, yeah. This was an actual character fig, and I think it came out really nicely. Obviously, it's a First Order sculpt Stormtrooper. Some of the details pop pretty well. Pretty happy with the camo paint job. Gives him kind of a unique and interesting look. It pops. These two droid minifigs were unpainted before. I painted them identically. There's really not a lot to them. Just blue eyes, silver bodies, and a wash of fucking black wash. They probably would have came out even better if I'd used my Nolan Oil wash on them, but that stuff's expensive, and these are just 3D printed filler minis, so I didn't want to waste the good stuff. Another droid that was not painted during the campaign, but for which he was printed. But I love the R5 series, and this one I took my time. There was not a lot of surface detail to paint, so a lot of this is... some's freehand, some is actual surface details that I painted. I hope he looks good. I hope everybody likes him. If you don't, I don't care. But I like him. And that's what matters when it comes to a mini. This was my first attempt at freehanding droid details on a droid mini. Not as good, but I like the color scheme. I was kind of experimenting with it before I did it on the R5. Unpopular opinion, I like the R5 series better than the R2 series. It just is what it is. This little guy is similar to the other two that are the same sculpt. However, he's got an orange dome, and I thought that made him cool. Orange and white with a dirty wash and a blue eye. Looks pretty cool. I suggest a new strategy, gamers. Let the Wookiee win. Yeah, I tried some layered shading on this guy, and it came out pretty good. It looks like fur, at least at first glance. Yes, there are some issues with my paint job if you sit down and scrutinize it in detail. However, I believe that I tried something new and it worked. And you know what? That's really the point. Is to try to do new things and expand your skill set with any hobby. I'm trying new things as a DM all the time. And I've been DMing since... we'll just say it's been more than 20 years. So... there you go. This is my Luke Skywalker minifig. Proportions in the sculpt aren't very good, but I think the paint job stands out alright. You can at least tell, for the most part, that it's supposed to be Luke Skywalker. So, there we go. According to the STL, this is supposed to be Han Solo. As you can see, for the most part, I painted him to look like, or at least resemble, Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly. Because goddamn it, why not? God, they need to bring Firefly back. Got a raw fucking deal. But that's what happens when you pit the first episode against the fucking Super Bowl. Oh, and much better, because Fox sabotaged the shit out of that show because they wanted another Buffy sequel. Fucking stupid shit. This is the Random Jedi. You'll note, it's pretty much one of the Sith sculpts, except I painted the lightsaber blue. Mostly because, yeah. I felt I needed a Jedi. This is another random character. I don't know where the STL is from. It's one Liz printed off. It wasn't her actual character, so yeah. Here we are. Painted up, looks pretty good. This is a Hero Forge minifig. This is Jelena. She was, for all intents and purposes, the big bad of my Star Wars campaign. She kept getting stronger and stronger, challenging the PCs. Mostly trying to challenge Sam. And I think she came out looking pretty good. 3D printed by Liz. This is Sam's character from the Star Wars campaign. Her Zeltron Jedi. Came out pretty good. Sam painted her. A lot of good color gradient. Wash on the dye. Wash on the coins. Just a nice all-around clean paint job. And a fun character for her. I'd have to say this character was Sam's favorite that I know of, that she's played, period. This minifig was originally made for the campaign, but for a character that never got introduced. I couldn't remember. I think he was a bad guy. Campaign ended before he could really be introduced. Things just kind of fell apart with the group. Anyways, I painted him up as a Jedi. Pretty badass looking dude. And I think the paint job suits him too. This was Liz's character during the Star Wars campaign. She was another Jedi, but also a tech specialist. So, do with that what you will. Pretty fun character. Pretty good sculpt. And good time painting. I believe Sam painted this one up. Did a pretty good job. This looks like the Wolfman with a rifle. I don't remember what it was for. Looks pretty cool though. Hopefully you guys can appreciate the paint job and appreciate the character design. Not a lot to it. But it was fun to paint. You know how that stuff can be. This Gungan was Josh's main character minifig. Sadly, not painted up until long after the campaign had ended. But hey, that's sometimes the way it goes. 'Tis life. This anthropomorphic dog person was Jess's character, who was also a shapeshifter in the Star Wars campaign. I forget the name of the species, but I like to think she had a lot of fun in the campaign. And whenever we get those old episodes of Game Table Adventures back up, or get those up in the first place, I like to think that people will be able to see that. But hey, who knows? Well, that kind of concludes us for character minis. And at least for this particular part, I'm going to halt it right here. There will be more videos to come. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more Game Table Adventures.